On YouTube, there's a Christian apologist named Shock of God. He has asked the question, what proof or evidence do you have that atheism is accurate and correct? Um, Obviously, a lot of people have responded to this, and he claims that nobody's given him any satisfactory answer, though I'm sure 9 times out of 10 they have in every case. You could probably look at a good clip of that on the Atheist Experience. Just look up Atheist Experience and Shock of God, and you'll get a gist of what kind of guy he is. Anywho, my swing at it. Thing is a lot of people have responded with, it's an ill-formed question. Since this is just sort of how I roll, and it's probably good practice, ill-formed question or not, let me give a swing at it. Proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. To preeminate my ramblings, I could probably all sum it up by atheism is accurate and correct, tentatively, of course. But as far as anyone legitimately knows, intellectually, honestly knows, atheism is accurate and correct so far. Atheism is definitely based on valuing facts, proof and evidence. This is his question. Another flaw of his question is it is shifting a burden of proof. Just for the sake of exercise, let's forgive that. Everything you can realistically observe and understand in reality so far points to atheism due to it not pointing to a God, or not exclusively pointing to a God. Atheism does not say there's absolutely no God. Atheism says, so far, the verdict is still out. So far, so far I'm not convinced. Which is the healthiest stance you can have. If you don't have proof and evidence of something, you don't convict somebody of the crime. One metaphor I use often is a crime scene metaphor. I think it's great because it's both not just a parallel, but an actual demonstration of using science to better understand what happened, what happens, and what may happen in the future. Any models or theories that we develop by observing reality strengthens everything we know about that reality. Proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. Atheism, by its very nature, is accurate and correct because it relies solely on that proof, solely on that evidence. It's the healthy reconsideration of proof and evidence that says, hey, wait a second, I could be wrong, there is no God. In my case, and many other people's cases, of which you were religious first and then converted into atheism, that transition or conversion or deconversion, however you want to say it or think of it, it's due to a situation where you reach a point where you're looking at your religion and you're saying, wait a second, facts matter. You realize sort of the counterproductivity of having faith. Faith is dishonest. And, when I was a Christian, I reached a point where I wanted to know my God. I wanted to know Jesus. I wanted to say, okay, you know what? If I'm going to have a go at this Christianity thing, I want to just, if there's a God, then the facts will point to him. And so far, no God. No suspect in the murder. No suspect in the crime scene. And until then, guessing who committed the murder is probably convicting an innocent man. It could have been a suicide, could have been an accident. The healthiest way of observing reality is don't jump to any conclusions. And that's exactly what atheism is. As far as accurate and correct, it's accurate and correct in the sense that it's the healthiest way to go about finding the answer. The verdict is out, and I'm okay with that. I don't know, and I'm okay with that. The proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct is the fact that there is no proof and evidence to not be an atheist. As in, we don't say we have an answer until we have the answer. We may or may not have the answer, and that's fine. That's, hypothetically, if the answer of if there's a God or not comes to us, then who's to say that it'll happen in our lifetime? I've got roughly, 60 or so years, roughly, if I don't get hit by a school bus or wished to be ran over by a school bus, as been threatened to Richard Dawkins. And there's nothing to say that I'll be here if that answer was ever found, and that's cool. But what I am going to do while I'm here is promote a healthy observation of reality. Here I am rambling again. Anywho, and I'll see you next time. Gadget out.